Hello, YouTube. Um, this is Katahdin in the morning. It's like 4:45 a.m. and it's already, eh, I would I would basically say fully light outside. Um, it's um, you know, dare I say beautiful. Also a little chilly out here. Okay. Um, I'm out on a kayak. I've actually never been on a kayak before. I always have wanted to do it, but we just have a canoe, my family. So we got like other mountains around us. Yeah, this one in front of us is Katahdin. I think Katahdin is something maybe like the highest peak east of the Mississippi and north of the Mason-Dixon, something like that. It looks like there's maybe some snow up there, I guess. I don't really know how it works. Um, so this is pretty cool. I think that I forgot to say this lake is called Lake Millinocket, I'm pretty sure. Fish just surfaced over there. And Millinocket is the town here. I'm going to go over to, it looks like that's an island, so I'm going to try and go over there. It also is really sunny, and I don't have a I don't have a hat or sunglasses on, so I'm kind of suffering. But that's my fault, because my dad asked if I wanted a hat, and I kind of treated that like it was a ridiculous question. But he was right. Okay, it took, I would almost say, disastrously long to get over to this island. Um, oh, I might get stuck on these rocks. I'm gonna try to not do that. But stuff looks closer than it is, so I'm just gonna kayak around it and then go back to my temporary house. Um, one time I was camping with a friend and my dad, and me and the friend went on the canoe out to an island. We found like these rotten eggs, so that was pretty cool. I wish I could go on this island, but it looks like densely vegetated, densely herbaceous. Um, and I don't want to lose this. That would be disastrous because that would be even more disastrous than the length of time it took to get here because this phone that I record on uh doesn't have service. So I would just have to live out here forever, I guess. So yeah, I guess I'll continue on. Okay. This is we're going up a trail to I think it's called Chimney Pond. Um, okay, we had been going along this a stream over there for a while, but now we've turned inland. I don't really know the elevation that we're at right now or the elevation that we're going to. I'll find out later, probably. So I believe the water coming down here is coming down from Katahdin. So it's kind of like recently icy or snowy, because I guess there's still a bit of ice and snow there. So we skirted along the edge of the babbling brook for a while, but I think that we're finally leaving it behind. I will not film directly in front of me because my family's all up there. And this is my channel, not their channel. So, okay, we've gotten to the part in hiking where some of my siblings are doing the "Are we there yet?" thing, and we're not there yet. So that's nice. But I wanted to chronicle something here. Okay, right. So almost 3 years ago, in junior year of high school, I had a seizure, right? And and they did tests on me and stuff, and they found nothing was wrong with me. And what happens when you have a seizure randomly is the doctor will tell you, oh, 1 second. Anyways, what they tell you is, um, I had to leave because other people are on this trail and it's embarrassing to be filming in public, like really embarrassing. Um, but what they tell you is, everyone is allowed one free seizure. And that just means, what it sounds like. It's normal to have a seizure randomly once. Like, it happens. But if it happens twice, well, probably something is causing it. So then, a few days ago, today's Wednesday, and it was on Sunday. On Sunday, I went to this Portage County Democrats listening session. And it was just going around in a circle and talking about issues and stuff. And I was the first one in the circle. And I kind of just forfeited my right to talk because they were looking for like local political issues that mainly you only know about if you like pay property taxes in Portage County or something, which I don't do. So I was like, I have nothing to say. I have nothing good to say. Sorry, move on. But then at the end, they started talking about Kent State campus and like democratic initiatives on Kent State campus and how there weren't any or whatever. And this one guy was like, well, let's ask the young person in the room, right? And so then, okay, one sec. Okay, as I was saying, the guy was like, oh, one sec. OMG. As I was saying, involvement on Kent State campus, they called on me because it's like, I'm a young person. And I started talking about like, that there's a few tribes of young people, and to most of them, oh my gosh, so many people are here, what the heck? Okay. There are a few tribes of young people, and to all these tribes, the Democratic Party is not really appealing. So we've got, well, with an exception. So we have the complete idiot tribe. These people are staunch MAGAT or libs, pretty much. Nothing will ever change their mind ever because they haven't used an ounce of critical thinking, to determine their beliefs. So these people, the Republican version of these people, well, they're not even Republican anymore, but the conservative faction will never be convinced to vote for Democrat ever, so that's worthless. And that other group will always vote for a blue candidate. So, then there's like another larger group of people, which is the less idiots. I still think they're idiots, but the less idiots. These people have actual beliefs, they have stances, they have positions, and they are determined via critical thinking or semi-critical thinking. Okay, someone's coming, right? Wait, no. There's another tribe. There's a tribe that is not politically minded at all. Not that the first one is politically minded in the sense that, they have a grasp of and passion for politics. But I mean, the apathy versus, I guess, They are pathy. They are pathological. There's something wrong with like, there's something wrong with MAGA people. There's something wrong with libs too. Anyways, okay. What? Everyone, they just keep stopping, and I have to stop for them. And okay, I guess we're gonna have a snack now. Okay, what was I saying? Oh, but there's something wrong with MAGA people and libs. Yeah. But anyways, so there's the kind of apathetic group to which they are easily swayed. They kind of have the opposite issue by, the times, the cultural zeitgeist, or social media presence. In which case the Democrats are lame. So that's not really going to sway them. Then there's that slightly less idiotic group I mentioned, who has real principles and values and stuff. In which case, the Democratic Party does not allow. I mean, I'm a registered Democrat or whatever, and at the local level and at the state level too, I think I'm a Democrat. But in terms of the president, it doesn't really matter. Both are bad. Both are bad. Both parties are evil, or whatever these people say. But it's like, the Democratic Party is a large and evil group of people at the higher levels. I don't know if you guys could hear that. My parents yelling ahead. Anyways, so these people, they're just, policy-wise, the Democrats aren't there. A lot of it, a lot of people, the Palestine thing. Okay, 1 second. Okay. So yeah, a lot of people didn't vote for Kamala because she's a Zionist too, and I can't vote for either because I have to sit on my moral high horse. And it's just like, so you guys, I'm sorry, but lesser of two evils is a legitimate, real way for things to be. But anyways, as a result, there's no major faction of young people, I don't think, who are going to be dedicated Democratic voters, or even occasional Democratic voters. So I was explaining this to them. I was saying that honestly, the best thing we can do is to those apathets, the stupid people who are easily swayed without policy. It's about image. We have to seem cool or subversive, maybe. Okay, right. So I explained that to them. End story. That's the end of a timeline. Let's look at a new timeline. The new timeline is I go to this meeting and I decide to lay down on the ground. People are sitting on the ground near me, but I'm laying down. I am so casual that I thought I should just lay down, and I'm embarrassed about it. I don't know why I did this. I want to sit up, but at this point, it's they've seen me laying down, so it's embarrassing to sit. Right, this is what was going through my head, because what had just happened was I had a seizure, and I was on the ground because I had a seizure. And I didn't realize I had a seizure, and I wouldn't realize for a good while. Okay, right, so I did not know I had a seizure, so that's what I thought happened. I thought that I decided to lay down for some reason, and then this lady asked for my phone to call my mom, and then an ambulance guy comes in. I put on a stretcher and brought in an ambulance. This whole time, I don't think anything is particularly out of the ordinary. I think that there's Katata and a bit in the background. I think that basically this is some sort of event where, I don't know, maybe it's some sort of event for maybe like everyone has to, I don't know, some sort of public health issue, some sort of public health concern. So this is routine. I'm just going to the hospital. And then when I'm in the ambulance guy's asking me about my seizure. And he asked me what I was doing when it happened. And I say, oh, well, I was at school working on a project or whatever. I was standing up. I fell over, you know. And then he says, no, the one that just happened. I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, you just had a seizure. I was like, oh, well, you know. And then he asked me a few other things like, who's the president? Got that one. What day of the week was it? Didn't get that one. That kind of thing. Then I was at the ER for a while. They had to give me an IV, which sucked. And, well, now at this point, basically, I'm not allowed to drive or ride a bike or really, like, walk alone until they know what has caused this, because, oh my gosh, there's a lot of bugs here. Because, if they, oh wow, so many bugs are around me. I have this, like, bug net thing. But, anyways, if I have epilepsy or something, if I were to have another seizure while doing one of these things, you know, it could be bad. So, so my life sucks now. But why was I bringing this up? I had a reason a long, long time ago to bring this up. I'll think about it. Okay, I remembered. So that's just, oh, okay. Okay, so many bugs are here, it's bad, but anyways, wait, I don't remember what I had just said before in the clip right before this, but, basically, I was saying, I don't remember if I talked about this in my ideas/theories video at all, but basically, before you have a seizure, you get what's called the aura, seizure aura. Well, I almost tripped. And the seizure aura is kind of indescribable. I got it strongly the first time I had a seizure. And the second time, I kind of just got nervous and shaky. I was really shaky and nervous. But the first time, it's like every sense that you have is like hallucinating a rainbow, the equivalent. But it's like a weird, one may say, what word am I looking for? Liminal, a liminal rainbow. I don't know what I'm saying, but you know, it's a very disconcerting feeling. And you know, hopefully I'm not epileptic, but if I am, I'm sure I will become very familiar with it. But anyways, the seizure aura feels similar to this thing that I used to get a lot when I was a kid. I would try to go to sleep, and there'd be these, like, dysphoric bells ringing in my ears so loudly. It was just ringing and ringing, adding and adding. What is that called? like more harmonic levels. I don't know if that's correct terminology, but it just, for some reason, this was the most upsetting thing in the world. It made me, made me be like, man, being dead would be better than this. Um, and anyways, that phenomenon slowed down, and then I didn't have it anymore for a long while. But I started getting it again recently, and the feeling of kind of like the layers, the kind of like big cylinder, like a cone shape feeling, is kind of similar to that seizure aura, and it's also similar to this other phenomenon I used to get maybe 3 years ago. This was at its peak, and it would be this sensation of stepping out of my body and self one time, and then from that vantage point, stepping out again, just, stepping out, I'm stepping out, that song, but just keep going out, and it's excruciating because you become disgustingly self-aware of yourself, and it's like you just keep, and then you become self-aware of your self-awareness, and it's like I consider myself a self-aware person, but this is to a different level. Okay, I'll be back. Wait. So we didn't make it to the lake we were supposed to make it to, but we made it to this lake. The view from this lake is really good. Isn't that gorgeous? But there's so many bugs here that we're leaving. So, as I was saying, it's, what was I talking about? Oh, kind of like the cone thing, right? The cone thing. So that's kind of like, that thing where you keep stepping out one layer at a time, one more layer, another layer. So that is just like a really terrible experience. I want to know if anyone else has had that experience, because it just feels so bad. It truly is miserable. So I'll come back when I have something more to talk about. I just twisted my ankle on this right foot a second ago, pretty bad, which is really embarrassing. But I twisted it like, I hurt it as bad as you can hurt something without it being an actual problem. Like, this is not a diagnosable issue. Like, I can still walk, it just hurts really bad. So that's my life now. Okay, once again, I'm on the water. It's about 5 a.m. I don't really remember what I was talking about yesterday. I guess I'll go watch the last video, to see what I was talking about so I can continue that. Okay, so I wasn't talking about anything important previously. I'll just talk about this. So, yeah, I found out some more stuff. This is Lake Millinocket, and I don't know the average depth, but the deepest point of this lake is 108 feet. Trying to spin around here. That's pretty deep. Lake Erie's average depth, as I probably said in my beautiful lake video, is 162 feet. So, especially for a lake of this size, compared to Lake Erie, this is a very small lake. That's pretty big. That's pretty deep, I mean. It's kind of imposing and terrifying to me, because I don't like bodies of water, but that's okay. So yeah, Katahdin up there, I found out, so I don't know if I can see it right now, but there is snow up there still. And so when we went on our hike yesterday, the water coming down was like it's like snow melt almost, or not almost. It just is in some cases. Katahdin, the elevation is at the peak is about like a mile, like 5,000 and some change feet. Um, that's pretty tall. I don't know what the prominence is. I can't imagine that this lake is more than, I don't know, 2,000 feet. And I think that the hike that we're doing tomorrow goes up like 1,000 or 2,000 feet. So maybe the prominence is something like 3,000 feet. Um, not bad, not small, pretty large. Um, one one one-handed paddling here. Um, so anyways, today we are going to the ocean. I've probably said this before in this video already, but I don't care. I've seen the ocean technically one time before. Uh, that was at the Boston Harbor when I was 8. I don't really remember it that well. Um, I remember, like the pier, the docks or whatever. And we went. Is it called Navy Pier? We went to see some old boat. Um, but I don't remember like the smell of the salt or anything. So really, in my memory, it could have just been a Great Lake. Um, so we're seeing, and then when I went to Europe, uh, um, we did fly over the ocean, but if I recall correctly, it was cloudy on the way there, so I couldn't like look down and see it. I did have a window seat though on the way there. The way back, terrible experience. The plane had 3 rows of 3 seats, three columns of whatever, and I was in the middle of the middle, and on either side of me was a father who had his wife and kids on the outside aisles. So I was like amidst two fact. Oh, and neither of them spoke English. Um, so it was just like it was a terrible situation, and I kind of just went catatonic or almost comatose because I just kind of sat there and didn't move the whole time. Also, there's bugs here. I killed a bug earlier, which I don't normally like to do, but it was repeatedly biting me, and it's you know yeah. I feel bad about that, but it's okay. I don't like to end things lives just because they're annoying me. But biting, just don't bite me, right? Um, anyways, so yeah, we're gonna see the ocean. We're going to, um, is it East Quaddy or West Quaddy? It wouldn't make sense for it to be West Quaddy because it is the easternmost point of the United States. It is wester than nothing. It is the closest point in the United States to Africa, even though it's, so far north of here. It's just so to the east that it is. Um, so we're going to see the lighthouse, and we're going to see the ocean. Um, that's pretty exciting, I guess. We might go in the ocean, but my dad says it's kind of just like a really craggy type of area. So I don't know, but I would like to touch the ocean. And listen, I'm not like an ocean supremacist. Um, I do not really buy that it's going to be all that different from going to Lake Erie. Because the main thing that I think people respond to about the oceans is like, oh, it goes on forever. Because, here it's like, okay, I can easily see all around me the edge, right, of the lake. Even, apparently the lake is 6 miles in that direction. That's pretty big, but still, I can see the edge over there. And so I think people respond to, because most people haven't seen a Great Lake, not an American, Canadian, or African Great Lake. Um, Most people also haven't seen, like the Caspian Sea or Lake Baikal or Balkhash or any of these other lakes. Um, and the Caspian Sea is not really a lake. I don't believe it is because, and if it is, then that means Erie is 11. If it's not, it's 10. So, anyways, uh, the thing is with the Great Lake, even Ontario, the smallest one, you can't see across it. Um, it, you look at it and it feels as though it goes on forever as well. The only difference I think is there might be like a cognitive um, different. There might be some sort of cognitive thing where it's like actually knowing how large it is will change the experience, but I don't know. Like Lake Erie is really big. I would not want to be in the middle of Lake Erie. And there's shipwrecks in the Great Lakes. It's they're terrifying. They're huge forces of nature. Um, yeah. So I'm not convinced that it's going to be like, oh my God, the ocean. How have I gone my life without you? I don't know. A lot of people seem to act like the ocean is so awesome, and I just don't buy it. For some reason, okay, my brother went to Ireland and saw the ocean. For some reason, when I asked, like, he just didn't tell me. Like, I asked him, like, compared to a Great Lake, what is it? He just like didn't tell me. I don't know. Um, but I will see today. Um, what else? Um, last night my siblings came out here on the water, and then there was like a torrential downpour. Um, that was embarrassing for them. They made it back. That's good. Look at like the fog over there. It's nice. But here's another thing. My suspicions have been confirmed. Okay, so this is like an incredible view, right? Um, we're staying at this Airbnb or whatever, and right next to it lives a guy who's kind of like, okay, he doesn't like own it, but he like helps or something. So he was like, come knock on my door, but he has like a New England accent, so he said it different than me. But so he lives literally like right over there. Sorry for doxing that guy. But he said, my mom was saying, "Oh my gosh, the view is incredible," and he was like, I guess, after he was like, "I guess so," and then he's like, after you live here a while, you begin to take it for granted. And this means that my suspicions have been confirmed that no, Ohio is not boring and horrible to live in, and no, it's not like, if you love nature and hiking stuff, Ohio will be miserable because it's so boring and flat and all that. No. Wherever you live, it's going to become boring to you. Like this guy wakes up every morning and sees this and he's just like, yep, this is what I've been seeing for more than 40 years every single morning. Um, so, okay, I know of a person who is from here, not here, Maine, not, but rather here as in home, as in Ohio, who moved to Montana. Okay, this person apparently says stuff like, I don't know how anyone who likes nature can live in Ohio, something like that. And so they moved there, and they get to go on these great hikes in the mountains of Montana or whatever. I'm sure it's beautiful. But the thing is, like, they now take their views for granted, I'm sure. Or if they don't yet, they will eventually after living there long enough, and it will feel boring again. It's like, yes, you are within driving distance of these things, but the thing is, Montana is so huge that they still have to drive hours to get to these places. I could drive hours to get to, the Pennsylvania wilds or whatever, right? Like, it's not, Ohio is not, we're not like, I'm trying to think of a place that would be like maybe like Arkansas. If you live in like Texarkana, I don't know, maybe that is more than a few hours from any sort of like mountainous wilderness place. I don't know. If you live in Texarkana, chime in. But, where I live, yeah, it's, less than 3 hours you can be, the Pennsylvania wilds are essentially wilderness, mountainous wilderness. And I can access that easily. There's an easy day trip from the most uh, populous quadrant of Ohio. So no, Ohio is not boring. And if you have ever said Ohio is boring and like flat and ugly, and what are you talking about? Okay, it's rather flat, but it's not like the plains. First of all, I don't think I could ever comfortably call at least Eastern Ohio flat after seeing the plains. Like they don't even have hills at all. It's it was beautiful. I loved it. It was pristine. Minecraft's super flat, but they don't even have hills. So no, we're not actually that flat. And like Cuyahoga Valley, it's a valley. There's some steep hills there, or Hawking Hill, whatever. But it's like it's not boring. You just live here, and if you open your mind, if you gain a sense of enchantment, if you lose your disenchantment, uh, you become, able to appreciate what is around you. I think that's a good skill, appreciating what is around you, right? Like if you live in Ohio or another place that's like quote unquote boring and ugly, go to a forest near you, or go to like some other interesting place like a Youngstown type place, and just be there and you know uh, simulate wonder, and come back to me and still tell me that the place that you live is boring and ugly. I mean, okay, maybe it is ugly, but no, I don't know, but it's not boring. No place is boring. If you think it is, you are boring. Like, okay, Iowa is boring because it's just flat and endless, but that in and of itself is incredibly interesting and such a unique novel experience for someone who doesn't live there. Like, but I'm sure the people in Iowa think it sucks and is boring. I think Iowa is one of the best places I've ever been. So, what are you doing? Find the places near you that you like, or just enjoy the places that you see every day. You know, take it upon yourself. Go into some corner in the dreary architecture of your soul, and turn on whatever like light switch or whatever is turned off right now that is disallowing you from seeing beauty all around you, because the world is beautiful. And this is like a motivational this is like a motivational talk now. The world is beautiful. But it is, right? Um, like look at this. This is beautiful. And I could honestly see something similarly beautiful if I were like at Towner's Woods right now, except it would be dark. At home it's, let's see. Yeah, so it's not even 6 yet. It's not even 5:15 yet. So at home it's still dark. So if I was at Towner's Woods, actually it wouldn't be. But I don't know. You know what? I'm just disappointed in people. If you live in a place and call it boring, I'm disappointed in you. So I guess that's all I have to say right now. I'm gonna paddle back. Okay, YouTube video. I'm back. Uh, this is the ocean, but it's just an inlet. So it's like, see, it doesn't look like the open ocean, but it is. And this is some sort of waterfall thing, I guess. And there's like a whirlpool over there or something. I don't know. I don't smell any salt. So this is just the same. It does look more powerful. But I'm not that impressed yet. We'll see. We'll see later when I see the open ocean. I am thankful for the weather today. Today I am thankful, grateful, because it's about a high of 60, overcast. You really couldn't ask for a better beach day. I've got a long sleeve t-shirt on and I'm slightly chilled. Oh, there's my sister down there. Okay. Cameo. But yeah, it's cool, it's nice. But still, it's not like, I don't know. I'll have to drink it, see if it tastes different than Lake Erie. So this is gross. I guess this is all like seaweed of some disgusting sort. I'm not used to, a place with a real tide. I don't really understand what's going on here. It's called like reverse falls or something. Or maybe I already said that. I don't know. Okay, so this is the open ocean apparently. I could see the other side. But like, maybe over there you can't. I don't know. We'll see. So, this is, I guess, the open ocean. It's the same as a Great Lake. The waves aren't even bigger. Pictured rocks in Michigan would be more spectacular than this. There is like a hint of, like my mind is aware of like the grandeur that is the ocean, and so there's like a hint of like, kind of an overwhelmed, like Like it's like, oh, like I gotta take a step back. That's intense because it's like the ocean. But just if I didn't know, if you just plot me down here, I wouldn't. I probably would guess this is Lake Superior, to be honest. Um. So yeah, I don't know. We're gonna go. We're we're gonna go. I'm gonna go wade in it a little bit. And then I'll update you. Hey, here I am. My elevation is 0 feet. This is the ocean. I think the tide is supposed to be coming in. My dad said something about 2, and now it's 3. I don't know. I'm going to walk in. So we already, I tasted it. My brother said it's saltier than you'll expect. It's 98% salt, 2% water. I didn't believe him. He was right. It's about 98% salt. So we stupidly left our towels up at the car, but it's fine. I just will roll up my pants. I'll be back. Okay. I'm back once again. I've taken my socks off and I've rolled up my pants. This is really cold. It's about like 50 degrees here in the air is. So the water is what, like 30 degrees? It's fine though. Let's see. How cold will this? Oh wow. It is it is very cold. That it actually hurts a lot to be standing in this. Let's see again. Just for the sake of saying, look at me. I'm in the ocean. There's video footage of it. I never thought that this day would come. But this hurts. I don't want like frostbite. So, or I don't. Would I get frostbite from this? Oh, geez, my feet hurt so bad now. What will I even do? Oh, here's a good rock for me to sit on and put my shoes back on. Okay. Okay. Socks and shoes back on. Pants rolled down. Philosophical musing about the ocean. Right, it is, like I was saying earlier, there's a little bit of difference between this and the Great Lake because I'm cognizant of the fact that there really essentially is no end to this. This body of water spans the whole Earth, and as far as I'm aware, the Earth is the entire. I don't really care about space or anything. I care about the Earth. And so you do have, it is this overwhelming sense of like, maybe not like maybe like almost I think what would make sense would be to say this sense of being like of the world, and you're just like a small part of something huge, and that's beautiful. But actually, I kind of feel like important. It's like now I have expanded my domain, or my sphere of influence, to include basically the whole Earth. I mean, I think it's like 80 or 90% of people live within 100 meters of sea level. Like it's a ton of people, and I've touched the water that touches them, and I know that actually all the water is in the ocean because even though, okay, so Portage County is interesting because it kind of is cut in half, where the upper half is the Lake Erie watershed and the bottom half, it's more like, it's like a diagonal. Then this half is the Ohio River watershed. And I know those also go to the ocean, but whatever. Where did my sunglasses go? Oh, good thing I remembered that. Don't need it today, but they're a good thing to have. But I don't know. It feels like I've tapped into something huge, and it's mine now. But it is, what word am I looking for? Corporeally? No, I don't think that's what I mean. But you know what I mean, though. Like, sensorily, it's, other than the taste, The taste was intense. But other than the taste, this could be Lake Superior. But yeah, so that's Canada over there. That's pretty cool. Again, that's Great Lake core. Canada on the other side. Earlier, yeah, I was at Quoddy Head. I was the easternmost person in America. That was pretty cool. But okay, that's enough talking for now. I think that I'm struggling to enjoy this as much as I should because my family is here. I talked about in my Beautiful Lake video that the ocean, or a large body of water, oh wait, I was saying, it is a sort of communion with higher power, and that's best done alone, not with chuds all around me. Yeah. This is along a trail. The trail goes on forever. Every point is probably the same, so this is one of them. Kind of lame that island is there. It's ruining that kind of endless expanse thing, but at least on either side of the island, we got it. YouTube, I'm on a boat. I'm on a canoe. I'm out at sea. I'm with my sister, and she's not paddling really at all. And we have to get back to home. My kid brother. If he capsized right now, we wouldn't know. So that's what I'm doing. It's kind of cloudy today, so we can't even really see Katahdin. Later, we're gonna go over there. But right now, I have to like.
Later, we're gonna go over there.
To Katahdin. No, not on the boat. Okay. I just gotta, get us back. We have 20 nautical miles left to go. Okay, bye. We were going to go to that double top mountain, but it's in a cloud, so it's going to be raining, and we wouldn't be able to see anything up there anyway. So we just came to this like low-lying trail. This waterfall is called Little Niagara, and next we're going to Big Niagara, which is still smaller than Niagara. Yeah. This has been a very beautiful hike. The hike we did on Tuesday, I think today's Friday. So that was Wednesday. The hike we did on Wednesday was like more arid. And this is like a rainforest, kind of. I don't remember what this river is called. I apologize for that. Maine is... I can easily say that Maine is like within my general domain. Like, when we went to South Dakota, it was like, wow. It's like, oh, we're not in Kansas anymore, like that. Here it's like, no, I can see how, things could progress from home to get to this point. This is a natural progression of, like, the Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia's tri-state area. It could become this. And that's a comforting thing. And that's helping keep some of the homesickness away, I guess. But at the same time, it is, it's extravagant. This Maine has one of the only true wildernesses in the eastern United States. Oh, okay, sorry. One of the only true wildernesses in the eastern United States. Others include north central Pennsylvania, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, the Everglades, and if you count this is eastern United States than northern Minnesota. To me, if it's west of the Mississippi, then it's a western state. But, you know, some people might say that that's radical. But, you know, there was a time when Ohio was a western state. West of the Appalachian Mountains was western. And sometimes I still live in that time, you know. We're just like a fur colony or something. No, but yeah, so this is, you know, it's extravagant, it's extraordinary, it's exemplary, in a way that my era isn't, I'll admit that. But it definitely, I don't know, there's a lot of similarities, though they definitely do talk different here. And I felt, oh, almost slipped. I felt almost like embarrassed when we went to get pizza last night, and I referred to the soft drink as pop, you know, because it was like, wait, this is soda, New England soda territory. And I became very self-conscious of how I say pop. It's like not even like P-O-P, it's like P-A-W-P, right? Pop, you know. And it's like, wow, I'm an interloper here. But nonetheless, this, like I was saying, it's like a natural progression. I think I can understand how we got to here. Okay, coming up to Big Niagara here. Let's see. Okay, this is fine. Pretty big. Okay, well, first of all, this is gross looking. That's gross. But it's a big old waterfall. It's really loud. You guys can probably hear it. This is you know, it's a spiritual instance to kind of hold a summit with such a large force of nature as to go and sit, you know, on a precipice over a large waterfall in the wilderness. That's a spiritual experience, because everything like that, you know, from a train to a waterfall to a thunderstorm to a bear or a moose or a buffalo, whatever, everything that is ginormous and grand, that's kind of an olive branch being extended from, you know, the powers that be to us. It's like, look, in no circumstance can a human being comprehend the divine, but we can comprehend these small bits and pieces, these chunks, and so we are given gorgeous, beautiful pieces of God all around us, and this is one of them. Real Niagara Falls is one too, though. It's kind of crowded there. I've been there twice. Both times it was very crowded. This is nicer for that reason. Okay, we're leaving Maine today, going to New Hampshire. A duck is running at me. Come on over here, duck. What? It actually is just running at me. Come on. What is it doing? Okay. Anyways, we're going to New Hampshire. It's once again cloudy up on the mountain. It's pretty nice though. I like the cloudiness. I think it's beautiful. Maine was pretty good. One surprising thing about Maine was how so much of it was like really flat. Like this area, yeah, it's a lot of the state was very flat, like maybe flatter than home. Uh, but then you get to hear where the mountains are rather large. Um, yeah, I don't know. Maine was it was definitely like a good eastern state. Felt at home here, and the people do talk like like car, like getting, like car, but like, they actually talk like that. But otherwise, it's like, yeah, this is kind of like home. I think that if we spent more time on the coast, it would have felt more exotic. But here on the inland, it's kind of like, this is kind of like West Virginia or something. Um, so that was Maine, I guess, and yeah, I guess I'll see you again in New Hampshire. I don't know where. We're going to see Franklin Pierce's house. Sorry I didn't get anything at FDR's house. It's pretty nice house, but whatever. And then we're going to go to Mount Washington tomorrow, which I'm very excited about. I'll get some great shots up Mount Washington. We're going up this train thing, side of the mountain. So, yeah. Okay. Here's a train, so I'm going to go up there. This is the first hog railroad, I guess. Okay. As I was saying, I think, oh, look at that. Look at that. These guys are getting publicity. These people are getting publicity in my video. Anyway, this is the first cog train, apparently. And I got, at the gift shop, oh, it's really changing the geometry of my wallet a bit here. We got a, look at that. Wallet tool. They didn't have one that said Charlie. Oh, everything's falling out of my wallet. They only had one that said Charles. So, whoa, I have some money in my wallet I didn't know about. It's only $3, but that's good to know. This might break my wallet. My wallet is very it's in bad condition. It's kind of old. It's at least from 2006 at the youngest. I don't know, but anyway, first cog train. It was like 1867 or 1869. I'm not sure because my brother said, "Oh, 1869. That's the same age as Kent. That's embarrassing that Kent is so young." But then I was like, "But Kent is 1867." He was like, "Oh, well, I think it said 1867." I don't know. So it's one of those. It takes 45 minutes to an hour to go up there. We'll see. I'll try to film on the way. I don't know. We'll see. Because I don't want to film when other people are there. But I'll film at the top, definitely. Completely foggy/cloudy. I think we're like over 4,000 feet. The train only goes at 5 miles per hour. Like I said, it takes like an hour to get out or something. We got some rocks. We're apparently 5,000 feet up. I think we're getting close to the top. The top of Mount Washington. It's like 30. They said it's like 40 degrees, but 20 miles per hour, and it's very foggy. Glasses are fogging up like crazy. But it's awesome. The conditions here are actually perfect. I have on like a long sleeve t-shirt, a brown shirt actually, and like a sweatshirt over top. Late June, I just feel so grateful. And one thing I wanted to say was earlier, I said, oh, the train, okay. That caught it. I say, east of the Mississippi.
Mississippi, north of the Maine State, the northeast United States, I was drawing beaches. So once I was the easternmost person in the United States on this trip, and now I'm the highest person in the northeast. So I'm going to really go now, just I'm sure. The train is coming down. I didn't know that they were leaving without us. Why would they do that? Whatever. Okay, bye. Okay, well, pretty soon we're going back down. Oh, the wind has calmed down out here a bit. It's cold. It's real cold. But it was enjoyable to be like, yeah, it's late June, but I'm up here shivering. Oh snap. Okay, the train's coming late. I might talk more later.
Who's going to North Conway? Anybody going to North Conway today? See there, Vito Marcello's. Everybody been there? You guys need to get out a little more when you're out. But I could go on and on, but that's no shortage of things to do in North Conway. It's a great place to walk up and down the street and poke around in all the unique shops. They have an outlet, brand name outlets and art galleries. And some good restaurants there if you want to grab lunch, like the Free House. And it's a great microwave.
Okay, we're leaving. We're going to go have lunch, and then we're going to leave New Hampshire. We're going to go to Vermont. My siblings want to go to an antique mall in Vermont. Okay, so I'm in this valley. Over there is this place called Bretton Woods. I learned about that in my American Foreign Policy class in last fall semester. That's pretty cool. I'm going to send a picture of it to my professor. I'm going to be like, check it out. Check it out. Okay. Yeah, so this is Vermont. Actually don't remember if I already made a video here in this location. I don't think so. This is some like, it's like Wall Drug, but the Vermont version. I bought $25 of maple products because I've been told that Vermont has the best, well, or that it has, I've been told that, Vermont's will be better than Ohio's maple. Because New Hampshire sucks, so we'll see Vermont. Yeah, this is the second to last stop, I guess. The other stop is going to be Kinderhook, which is what's his name? Martin Van Buren's presidential site. So, Vermont looks nice, has nice scenery, but I think New Hampshire scenery was nicer thus far. I think we're going to go through the Green Mountain National Forest. We'll see how it is there. But so far, yeah, I think the New Hampshire side looked nicer. But, we'll see. A lot of libs here. That's to be expected. Second least populous state, that's kind of cool. Kind of, they're almost the opposite of Ohio, seventh most populous. I've got my Cleveland Browns shirt on, representing out here. That's about all I have to say. I don't know. There might not be any more interesting things to talk about. Okay. I don't know what my family is doing, and I don't know when we're supposed to meet back at the car. I feel like it was 4:30. I think this place closes at 5. If it's 4:30, of course, it's coming up. But I'm just gonna, muse a bit or whatever. Traveling is weird because you're supposed to love the places that you go to, but and then maybe the second part isn't you're supposed to. Maybe this is just a me thing, but you know, your home is superior to all other places, and so there's this balancing act of appreciating where you are, but not disparaging where you come from. Um, so it's like, I don't know. Maine was really nice. New Hampshire was really nice. Western Massachusetts was beautiful. Uh, Pennsylvania is incredible. Uh, you know, Red County, New York, incredible. And in many ways, these places are better than Ohio. Unfortunately, even the good part of Ohio, like in the Northeast and the Southeast. So apart from coastal Maine, which is obviously just, you know, the coast is just a different thing. Because even coastal Ohio, you know, it's such a thin little strip along Erie that really is like heavily culturally impacted. You know, it's like one municipality thick of coastal region. So that's just completely different. But the inland parts of those of the states I've mentioned are kind of just like an enhanced, better Ohio of the eastern half of Ohio, because the western half, you know, that's truly Midwest. The eastern half, we're not really Midwest, and I don't know, like, you know, there's the hills along the West Virginia border, mainly. They kind of, you know, if the state is like a, how do I want to do this? If the state's like a square, the state is roughly like that, then like cut it like this, kind of that third is, dare I say, mountainous. It's, I mean, it's within the, not only the Appalachian Plateau, but it's a non-glaciated region of it. So it is, you know, the Appalachian Mountain Range. The foothills of it, perhaps. I mean, there's foothills, and then there's, you know, there's varying levels of foothills. I think some parts of it are real, but whatever. And then in the Northeast, we have less of that, but we have more of the weather, the colder weather that they would see up here. Not as cold. But southeastern Ohio really isn't a cold place at all. They get half as much of snow as we do in the Northeast. So, you know. So kind of, and we're woker in the Northeast. Not all of New England is woke, but like, I think that even the red New England is like a lot more tolerant and progressive socially, probably, than red Ohio, southeast Ohio. That's the impression that I get. So it's kind of like I come here and it's like, wow, I love my home so much, and this is my home but better. And what does that mean? It's like it's like I'm having a relationship OCD issue with Ohio, where it's like, oh, do I even actually love Ohio? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And of course I do, right? Of course. But, you know, I can recognize that other places have their merits, but the grass is always greener, and there are things about Ohio that, I don't know, I like that Ohio is kind of, we're down to earth, and not a lot of these places are down to earth, but I think they have that. I think the New England sheen kind of gives them this air of, you know, like a quiet luxury. It's like, I don't know best how to describe it. I don't know. But so I don't know. I like the projected image of Ohio. It's like, you know, we're the worst, you know, mistake on the lake, we're the worst football team. We're so boring, we're so ugly, we're so whatever. I kinda like that image. We're dying, you know. I like that image, and I don't think that that's an image that any of these states up here have. Because the image of Maine is like, the image of Maine is like beautiful wilderness, and the coast and, you know, coastal stuff. The image of New Hampshire is kind of like a redder Vermont. It seems like a redder and less affluent Vermont. And the image of Vermont is like this very, very kind of quaint, very Caucasian type of, like this idealized pastoral type of image. Massachusetts is obviously like very fancy place. Connecticut and Rhode Island, I don't know. Those places seem like they suck, but they have their coast image, I guess. I don't know, but all this stuff is like their images. I don't know. I don't like them as much. They don't speak to me in the same way. I like the dying, dreary Ohio image that we have. So I do love Ohio, and I love it more than I love these places. But I can admit that, like, okay, Mount Washington was awesome, and it is, there's nothing in the category of, terrain that awesome in Ohio at all. Hands down. And there's other things like that, and I don't know. But also I like our accent more. And Moxie is stupid. It tasted so bad. So I don't know. I like Ohio. It's a beautiful state. It's God's country. I'm just kind of iterating endlessly here, but it is one of the main things I think about, how much I love my home. I don't know. It's a good place. I'm a patriot. Oh, speaking of, here I got this. Okay, so my keychain like sucks. Imagine. Okay, I'm gonna hide the thing that I got today. So this would have been like what my keychain was. So I got this Cleveland Browns house key, and then this piece of plastic that used to be a Hiram College Terrier. I mean, I feel like I'm getting deja vu a lot today. Hopefully that's not seizure aura. But have I shown you guys this before? I don't know. But then today I got a Mount Washington. Look at that patriotic keychain. So now this is a little bit less terrible. Still pretty bad. But before, when it was just like a key in this random plastic, it's pretty sad. So, but yeah, I'm a patriot. I'm red, white, and blue blooded, and not for the country of the United States of America, but for the state of Ohio. And I think the Portage County flag is the same colors, right? So there we go. I don't know. I might talk more on this. I might gather some thoughts and speak more on this later. I don't know. I'm worried that I'm like supposed to be somewhere, because yeah, it is after 4:30, but maybe they said 5. I don't know. Maybe they said 4:45. I don't know. Maybe I should go look for them. Maybe they're looking for me. I don't know. So I'll be back. This is Bennington, Vermont, the second largest city in the state of Vermont. Bigger than Ravenna, smaller than Streetsboro. So, wait. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out dinner. We messed up. Okay, this might be the last place that I film. We're at a hotel outside of Albany, and, well, yeah, so we just left Bennington, Vermont, where we had dinner, and now so Albany is, you can kind of see, oh wait, here, the bigger building's over here. There we go. So, there we go, that's Albany. See still some vaguely mountainous terrain around here. Camera doesn't pick it up as well as it is in real life. It never does, and it never will. But, you know, this has been a good trip. Maybe I'll film a few final remarks when I'm at home, like on the computer. Because this is my big video, you know. I actually don't know if I don't really expect anyone to watch the whole thing because I'm thinking this might be an hour and a half at this point. I don't know. Wow, look at what a gorgeous sunset. But yeah, tomorrow we're just driving all the way back home, other than the Martin Van Buren thing. All right. This is a house of Martin Van Buren, I guess. This is in the capital region of New York State. We're a half a mile south of Albany. Looks pretty flat here, but if you can see beyond the trees, there's still like kind of mountains. We're kind of in a valley, kind of a Hudson River Valley type thing. This is in a place called Kinderhook, though. It's passed over the Kinderhook Creek. So this site it's closed today, but we're here anyways because my mom likes to go to these, and we're just looking at the outside of this house. So we're gonna go home today. We're right after this, pretty much. We're just gonna start going home. I'll probably film a finale at some rest stop in Pennsylvania or something. I'm in New Jersey. That is Pennsylvania. This is New York. This is the tri-state point between Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York. This is the Delaware River. This is the Never Sink River. And it's just the Delaware there. And this is I-80. Welcome, Columbia County Roadside Rest Area. Okay, so basically, we had 8 hours to drive home today. We left at 9 a.m. It's beyond 9 p.m. We still have about 2 hours left to go, but we needed some morale boosting, so we came to I'm going to back up so that there's less detail of my family here, but they're all in the way. We came to a roadside attraction. This is this is it. It's called Blossom. So, you know, she's actually called like the Big Cow. The pride of Clarion County. So we came to see this, you know. Yep. This is the end of my vlog. I don't know if I have anything more to say. I think I've said everything. You know, I love Ohio, but I liked where we went to. And I love Blossom the cow. This is just this is so momentous. This is so climactic. This is incredible. She's just so beautiful. So, thanks for watching my vlog if you watched it.